Hello, everybody. I'm here with my friend Barry, who has been teaching in Vietnam for about a year now. And we're out in the coffee shop in Govap district, which it is rainy right now, a little bit noisy, trying to make sure that we're getting good audio. So hopefully it sounds okay. We're both in the frame here. How are you doing today?
Doing super. It's a rainy day, but this is the rainy season, and so I've adjusted. I like the rainy season, cooler temperatures, and I don't mind getting wet. So life is good. It's
It
a good
is.
day.
It is getting cooler here. So it's Sunday. We get the day off. What are your plans for today?
Well, I don't totally have any days off. There's always some work to be done with teaching. So, but it was a good day today. We came here for breakfast earlier.
Oh,
Uh, Met her mom and sister and family came over and joined us. And then we've been out gallivanting. We bought new phones yesterday, and so we've had fun playing with electronics and back to our place and enjoyed watching the planes take off and land from our balcony.
oh yeah.
And then did a lunch, and then came on over here to catch up with you.
Cool. So, where are you from, and how long have you? I said about a year, but yeah, how? Where are you from, and how has it been going so far?
Okay. I am from New York. I spent most of my life in the New York area, and so this is like being on another planet. But basically, what to get into, I guess, how I came to get to Vietnam is I did a very full, very eventful life in New York. Raised a family, was married for 25 years, 27 years, and raised three daughters, and a career life in magazine publishing. And so made decent money. We lived a comfortable life. The computer magazines died when broadband took over about 12 years ago. And at that point, I'd also gone through a divorce and I started dealing with some life disappointments. Uh, Wound up getting into a dog walking business. I was doing it part time, waiting to interview with ad agencies. And before I knew it, I had a full time business going that consumed me 7 days a week, 16 hours a day of walking dogs, and the other 8 hours of taking care of them at night. And so 10 years flew by like that. And I woke up one morning and I had been also taking care of an aging mother for a couple of years. And I realized that I was a year away from ending a big chapter in life and seeing a new one begin. And I knew that within a year, my mother would probably have passed. My youngest daughter would have then been married. She had her PhD in clinical psychology, and so we'd be off to a good start. And the next phase, I had pictured myself semi-retired, bouncing grandchildren on my knee, and I realized that it was not going to happen the way I expected it to. And as I started sizing my life up, I realized I had a lot of disappointments, and it wasn't really a matter of Vietnam attracting me. I wanted to get away from New York. I wanted to change. And one night I was just so overwhelmed by my disappointments, I literally having a conversation with God. I looked up and just said, and I was holding a dog while he was eating his dinner and saying, I'm done with this. I fulfilled all my obligations. I was a good father, a good provider, took care of my mother. I'm done with these people. I want to get away from New York. And I basically said, I want off this planet. Just one of those down days. And the next sentence, I said, if I can't be off the planet, I want to be as far away from New York as possible. And after I said that, holding this dog, and I turned, and there was a globe of the earth next to my face. I said, this is an invitation. I put my finger on New York, reached around, spun it, Vietnam. And it literally was just a matter of me wanting to comfort myself. I said, I'm making a commitment. 1 year from today, I'm going to be in Vietnam. Don't know what I'll do, but I'll figure it out when I get there. And literally, the business kept me so busy, I didn't have time to think a lot. I just knew I should try and learn the language before. I started watching, I would feed YouTube language videos into my television set because I ran in and out of my apartment while I was working. I would practice pronouncing Vietnamese words. And in the process, a YouTube video popped up of you and Alex talking about what Ninja Teacher does, and it educated me to the fact that I could come over here and be functional. I could learn how to teach English to people who really could use it to their advantage. And so that became the plan. Not much more beyond it other than that I thought I would come learn some Vietnamese, learn how to teach, and then probably head to Cambodia to do relief work. And literally, when I got on the plane, it was June of 2017. My daughter had just been married, and I finished closing my mother's estate. And I pictured myself just spending a couple months, maybe, heading into Cambodia, spending the rest of my life in a dirt floor schoolroom setting where I maybe had 10 or 15 students, and I'd be living in a small tin shed and slowly living out the last days of my life. Nothing could be further from the truth. I landed in Saigon, started my TESOL certification course. Before I knew it, ILA, the largest language center, had come in and interviewed me and hired me before I completed the course. And from there, things moved very quickly. I began teaching in the public school system here. Got a little bit of experience in the private language centers where we teach 10 or 15 students, and then in the public schools, I teach classrooms that range between 45 and 55 students. I teach in 3 different schools, and I teach a full-time set of hours, which keeps me very busy, but it is incredibly rewarding. Um, Not a day passes that I don't know I have served a purpose, and not a day passes that there isn't some exciting event that makes life really adventurous. And so life is good. Hope it stays this way. Can't imagine it changing.
So how many times have you told that story?
Uh,
About the way you came here?
oh,
Because I've heard it twice.
You've heard it twice. I get asked that on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I've gotten used to telling that quite often, at least once a month.
Yeah, I think a lot of teachers here get that question, like, how long have you been in Vietnam? How long have you been teaching here? And you get used to telling the same story.
Yeah.
Yours is very, you got it down.
I got it down, yes. Yeah. It's simplified. I wasn't looking to come here. I was looking to get away from New York, and just incredibly surprised, pleasantly surprised with what I've run into. My intentions are to stay here for the rest of my life. I suspect I will be married very soon. And
Exciting?
I find that there's so much more for me to do. I'm learning more and more about how functional my work is and how valuable it is to this population. And so it spurs me on to learn more about teaching and what I can do for people. And so it'll continue, I'm sure.
Yeah. So you said you're in public school. What ages of students do you teach?
I'm teaching, well, this year I do not have 6th grade, but I've been teaching from grade 6 through 9. This year it's pretty heavy in 7, 8, and 9. And so the range, they go up to age 15. And it's quite a range of students there. These public schools can be mixed. You have some of the students will have had private language center English, and so their vocabulary is extensive. Their knowledge of grammar is extensive. Mixed in with them are very weak students, and so you have to build a lesson plan each time that addresses that variety of needs. And you build your skills, you build your presentation skills to the point where you can address that. You don't get as much time with each student looking In some cases, I only have 45 minutes. In others, I'll get two 45-minute segments. But to teach 50 students, it's a challenge. And so, but you learn little techniques and how you can perfect it. My TESOL certification course taught me quite a bit. It's quite a well-developed science, teaching English as a second language. So there are techniques, and you can make a difference. This year, from September to now, I have a number of classes now where I can see a major difference. I have a year's teaching experience under my belt, and I can make a difference. I see a major difference in the students, their ability to speak. Um, One of the things we deal with here in public schools is the fact that their teachers generally know the language well. They cannot speak, they don't have the confidence to speak, but they teach the grammar and vocabulary. The problem is that if they're not developing their speaking skill at the same time, that's sort of almost a dead zone in that part of the brain. And so you then have to start at the beginning, encourage them to actually start speaking. Um, they will not be able to demonstrate their knowledge. They may know grammar very well, but when they first start speaking, it does not come out. And so you have to keep that in mind at all times and just be patient and just keep them moving, encourage them. And you use activities to get the entire class speaking. Speaking, hopefully, without reading. You want them to hear, listen, practice listening, processing, and then speaking from that.
Yes.
And that's what does the most for them.
So with a class of like 50, 55 students, what's one activity you use to help each student be engaged?
Okay.
How do you make sure they all are speaking?
I have learned generally people use a little warm-up activity and they'll play different games and so forth. I've chosen to stick with one activity. I use a ball, and so everyone has to catch. I teach them early on, if I throw the ball to you, you have to catch it. I make sure there's social pressure on them if they don't, and so their teammates will smack them in the back and say, "We lost the chance to get another point." Okay. So we have classroom competition. So you put a little scoreboard up, and you start out. My opener is giving them a 3, 2, 1 count, and everyone then has to be quiet, raise their finger, and say, "Shh." The first team that does that, and I see everyone doing it, gets a star. That's the first star. Okay. My warm-up is a game of hangman. I pick a new word, and I use that to engage everyone. I can now use the ball. Anyone who's not paying attention gets the ball tossed, and now they're used to watching me. I move in and out of the classroom, and I make them pronounce letters correctly. So you're breaking bad habits that may have formed before them having a Western teacher. And sometimes the Western teachers didn't really get them to say it all the way. And so I get them used to the fact that I want a little more performance. Everyone's used to actually open up their vocal cords. And so the next step, we go into a speaking activity, they're all ready. They're broken into it. The shy ones know they're going to speak, and they're okay. And then usually, for instance, with, say, a ninth grade class, I'll take a grammar point, and I'll take the subject matter, and I'll tell them we're doing speaking today is going to be using this grammar point, and I'll throw vocabulary on the board or use flashcards. If the class is slower, I'll do a review with flashcards so that they understand the vocabulary. And I'll make a game. I have one that they seem to like. I say, let's play I Can Fix That. And so they know that the weaker students will get a star for giving me a sentence, whether the grammar is totally off or not. But then if they can identify grammar that needs to be corrected, they raise their hand, the first one to raise it. If they correct the grammar and give me the sentence properly, I give their team a star. And so they get a big kick out of that.
So what do they earn with the stars?
At the end, the team with the most stars gets the candy. I get everybody in that team gets a piece of candy.
Okay.
And a simple small piece of candy goes miles for
That's
these
good.
kids. Yeah, they love it. And so, and it's fun, rewarding. And then as time moves on, you learn little techniques where some classes where the students are so strong, I can take 4 students, one from each team, and tell them that the competition is to see who can do the best job on a weaker student. So they come forward and I'll tell them, you get this one to use this grammar point and these vocabulary words. And then I'll go to the next one. And I might give them something different or I'll give them the same type of assignment. And so they'll work and I'll give them maybe 5 minutes to do this. And then I'll go back and I can work with another 4 students. So we're getting much more individualized attention there. And then the better students, I can do a quick lesson on a pronunciation. TH is very hard for them to pronounce.
Mm-hmm.
So show them a little technique. And I do that every class. I work with everybody with a little bit of phonics. And so I might just have to focus on one student just for like 20 seconds. Tongue on the top teeth and get them to do that. And their eyes light up. It's like, yeah, we've got it. And you move on and get through it all. And before you know it, it's time to pack up and go to the next class. And
45 minutes, right?
yeah, do it again. You know. But at the end of the day, I'm tired, but fulfilled.
So people probably want to know, how young are you?
How young am I?
Yeah.
I stopped having birthdays at 29. So
Okay.
that makes me 29. Yeah. No. I will be turning 64 this month. Okay. And don't feel it. I did feel it when I came here. I saw myself as an older guy, but this place will rock you out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aside from being sick.
Aside from being sick, I did one bout with the flu last year that was tough to fight. I have a very strong immune system, but the flu in Vietnam packs a punch. So I did get hit with it, but I think I'm going to do well this year. Do well with that. Life is just exciting here. I wake up every day and I'm up at 5. If you told me I was signing up to do that every morning, wake up at 5 a.m. and start pumping away, getting dressed and getting on the road with lesson plans. I don't know that I would have jumped at it so quickly, but I love doing it.
It becomes a routine, right?
Oh, it's a routine, and it's, your adrenaline is flowing right away because you know you're getting on a motorbike into Saigon traffic, which it's sort of like being in one of those video games where you die and get another life or something like that. But
Yeah.
here you make sure you don't lose, you don't die because you won't get another life. It's the real thing.
Good analogy.
And and I've been here now. I'm in my 2nd year, and I see something new in the way of things that happen in traffic, rush hour traffic. But it's exciting. Every day I see something new. It's something strange happens in the roadway. Or I've been in so many gridlock traffic jams that I can't count them, but new things happen. You'll wind up driving on the sidewalk on the other side of the street to work your way up through it all. And
When you first arrived, you mentioned that you had the teacher training course, TESOL course, and then Major Language Center ILA came and basically recruited teachers from there, and they seeked you out.
yes. I was surprised because initially, fortunately, Ninja Teacher was willing to spend time, and I had a video conference interview with someone, Jackie, at the time. And at the time, she couldn't tell me what the situation would be for me at my age. And she was actually thinking that I might have a tougher time getting employment. Later, Alex told her, get back to him, let him know, you can find something. And so I was not expecting it to be quite so easy. Yeah.
In general, how do your middle school / ninth grade students find you as a teacher being an older man?
Initially, they are just taken back that they've got somebody my age coming in, and the first question is always, "What country are you from?" And no matter what your age is, who you are, and then the second one is, "And how old are you?" And so part of the fun in the first class is let's guess where Teacher Barry's from, and then let's guess how old Teacher Barry is, and get them use that to say, "Teacher Barry, I think you are years old." And so good leverage. But,
Do you know why they ask age all the time?
because in Vietnam, most people my age are retired. If you drive around working class neighborhood like this, you'll see men in their 50s sitting out all day long. Their wives are running a business out of the front of the house, and they leave the wife home to do that, and they just sit there with their friends, drink beer, and vegetate.
So what age do you think women retire here? Do they keep on working while men just...
Women do not retire here.
That's what I've noticed.
Women are in this country are the hardest working beings on the planet.
Yeah.
I'm certain.
I agree.
But I laugh about the fact, people talk about it, how the U.S. had to pull out from a war that they really had a tough time with, and I will say it's probably because the other side employed more women in the fight than the South Vietnamese. The women make the difference, and they are all amazing. Most households in Vietnam only have one or two kitchen knives. That's it, and it's usually a big meat cleaver, and they can do anything you can imagine with that. They peel small vegetables and debone fish and eat with it, and they're mechanically inclined. If you see something broken and you want to go to fix it, they're usually on it before you are, and they usually have a better way of fixing it. But yeah, it's an amazing country. I learn something new about the people every day, and there's so much more to learn and understand. And so that by itself is exciting. I love people. It's a great place to study people. Great contrast to the American culture. We got a real handle on the way we have lived and what it's meant. And through this, I think everyone, I think all college students should do that semester abroad. And I think coming to Asia is probably one of the most functional things they could do. And probably do more than just a semester, probably a full gap year or more, and to change their perspective on life and how they pursue the rest of it. So this already has changed my life and the way I look at things. I am certain that I will not retire. I'm certain that I will not slow down. I had always thought that I would probably retire at age 70 and still work, but at a slower pace. And if I am here on this planet at age 70, I assure you there's some way I will keep working and serving these people. And quite easy to do, and I will be as enthused to do so, if not more.
Great, you still feel so young, like younger from being here.
This has actually made me feel much younger. It's renewed life for me. It's an amazing therapeutic effect on me. So I can't encourage anybody who's looking for a new chapter in life and likes excitement. If you're adventurous, this is the place to come. If you are looking to serve a purpose in life, you can't find a better place. These people need to learn English. You do just that, you are serving an amazing function for them and helping people.
There's a big passion here for learning English. Like people take time out of their day to just practice speaking with foreigners. And by being here, doing the work, you really are making a difference.
Pretty much everywhere I go, adults will come, especially back in our other apartment in the neighborhood, will come in, and those who have some English skills would want to come up and sit and speak with me. And if I would take some time and help them with their pronunciation, fixing something, they were just so grateful. And the next day they'd come back and show you that they had practiced it and they had learned it. So, and I enjoy it. I have so much fun. I could keep doing this 24 hours a day. So it's that much fun.
So it's been great catching up with you. It's been a while since I saw you. And
Yeah.
anything else you would like to say? Maybe like a tip for people who are considering coming out? Or...
First of all, definitely subscribe to your channel.
Okay.
And the other ninja teacher, look at the old stuff too. Go back in time. They should look at the Vietnamese language videos. Just queue up one on their own, and then let YouTube queue up a chunk behind it. If they were to look at the travel videos, they'd realize this is an incredibly beautiful country.
You mentioned before coming out, studying the Vietnamese language through videos. Mainly, I think it's good, like you said before, to get used to listening.
Vietnamese is a tonal language. You have about 6 tones. After age 40, you lose the ability to hear tones unless you've been practicing a language like that.
That's the magic age.
That is the magic age. Actually, at age 21, you start to lose the ability to hear frequencies. So 13 and 14-year-olds will program their phones with high-frequency rings, and so they can call each other, and the teacher cannot hear it.
Really?
Yeah, that's a fact. People are not aware of it. Huh. Age 40, you lose the ability to hear tones. By my 60s, I had a problem.
Okay.
I listened for a year to YouTube, spent a year here, and now this is 2 years of it. I'm finally at the point where I hear everything, and my speaking ability is starting to pick up.
All right. Well, thanks, Barry.
My
Great
pleasure.
talking with you.
As always, great here too.
Yes, you too. And this has been another interview.
This is good reason for a senior to come out and see the other side of the world.
That's it. See you next time.